Whatever you did for the least of mine, you did for me. This is a moving gospel meant to pierce our hearts. How do we love and serve God? To some, he will say, I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. A stranger and you welcomed me. Naked and you clothed me. Ill and you cared for me. In prison and you visited me. But to all the rest, the king will say, depart from me. For I was hungry and you gave me no food. I was thirsty and you gave me no drink. A stranger and you gave me no welcome. Naked, you gave me no clothing. Ill and in prison, you did not care for me. How does this gospel move us? For some, we'll get to it, it can actually comfort. This can be a comforting gospel. For most, it can afflict. Now, for us who are truly afflicted, this gospel is actually meant to bring comfort. We'll get to that. But for most of us who are too comfortable, this gospel is meant to pierce, afflict us to action, to love, for we will be judged. One who was so greatly moved, really afflicted in a holy, beautiful way to this gospel was Mother Teresa. Greatly moved by this gospel. She would say, if you can't feed 100 people, then feed just one. She went on, at the end of our lives, we will not be judged by how many diplomas we have received, how much money we have made, or even how many great things we have done. We will be judged by, I was hungry and you gave me food. I was naked and you clothed me. I was a stranger and you took me in. You've heard me say the line, Mother Teresa here, she puts it in a question. Do you want to do something beautiful for God? You are called to be holy where you are, wherever God has put you. Where's God put us? The very fact that God has placed a certain soul in our way is a sign that God wants us to do something for them. Never waste a chance to become more like Jesus. So important for us to hear, especially in a time when we can be concerned and caught up in so many things, distracted with so many big world problems, things happening out there, far away, the wars that are happening, what's going on in politics, Washington, D.C., the state of the Catholic Church, Rome, the Pope, bishops, things that are actually out there, far away. These things can really just consume us and take our attention. But how will we be judged? According to how we did or didn't love those right among us, right next to us. We will be judged on how we treated our own family, our neighbor next door, those who are in need right here in our community. Mother Teresa, she would tell people, try to get us to pull back from being caught up, there. She would say, stay where you are. Find your own Calcutta. Find the sick, the suffering, and the lonely right where you are. In your own homes, in your own families, in your workplaces, in your schools. See, we'll be judged on how we loved or didn't love right in our own home, with our own family members, in our own parish, our own community, how we generously served or didn't serve the people most in need. There's a way this has been made distinct. You can think of it as our circle of concern, which accompanies so much. We are concerned about conflict in the world, war, poverty throughout the world, hunger, the state of the Catholic Church, leaders, politicians, all these things. But really, you'd call this circle of concern. They deeply concern us. But what is our circle of influence, where I have immediate influence, responsibility? And we see that's right where we are, those next to us. Now, this is a way to afflict us in an aspiring way to action and love. Now, I did mention, I think it's so important for us too to see this gospel. How I always see it is to comfort those who are in affliction. It tends to be when we find ourselves dependent or in a time of need, we can see ourselves as a burden. I don't want to be a burden on anybody. I don't want people to have to care for me. And so I'm going to try to just prevent that and take care of myself as much as possible. Well, the comfort here is actually when we are in need, we get to be Jesus Christ for others. When we are ill and we let people care for us, we are being Jesus Christ for them. When we are a stranger, when we're lonely, and we let others bring us consolation, we are Jesus Christ for them. And so what a gift, this gospel, so moving. And as Jesus told us, whatever you did to the least of mine, you did for me.